I couldn't deep squat for years. My hips were locked, my ankles were stiff, my lower back would just round the second I tried to drop below parallel. I thought I was just built that way. Today, I'm gonna walk you through the exact progressions that took me from barely hitting depth to owning a rock solid deep squat without forcing anything. But first, why the deep squat? Well, the deep squat isn't just an exercise, it's a fundamental human resting position. It's how we were built to sit, rest, and move through space. And believe it or not, we were all able to do it perfectly as kids. But in today's world, most adults have completely lost it. And that's a problem. Because once you stop accessing that deep hip and ankle range, your hips tighten, your ankles stiffen, and your lower back loses its ability to stay neutral under load. As I always say, your body adapts to whatever you give it, and if you never ask it to squat deep, it's just going to forget how. Now, before we get into the solution, I want to clear up two big myths that I always hear. Okay, myth number one is that just sitting in a deep squat is going to fix your mobility. This is definitely not true. Passive sitting exposes you to the position, yes, but it doesn't teach your body how to control it. And without control, body or your nervous system won't trust it. Myth number two is that to get into the deep squat, you just need more flexibility. Well, range of motion does matter, but we need strength in that range, and it's the strength part that matters more. If you can't actively pull yourself into the position, your body will compensate, usually through your lower back. So the issue isn't necessarily your anatomy, it's that you haven't earned access to that range yet. Okay, here's a quick test to get started. Try a deep squat right now. If your heels come off the ground, then your ankles are the main limiter. If your heels stay down, but your lower back really rounds and you feel stuck and compressed in the end range, then your hips are the main limitation. Keep that in mind because we're going to use that to guide how you train. So here are 3 exercises that you should all be doing, but depending on your test, you're going to do more of one. So exercise 1 is hip compression work. So we really need to strengthen the hip flexors at their end range so that we can activate in the deep squat. For this, you're going to lie on your back with your feet against the wall and your legs bent. You want to make sure you're flattening your lower back into the floor. Now from here, you're going to actively pull your knees towards your chest using your hip flexors. You want to hold for about 3 to 5 seconds on each rep and then slowly return. You can repeat this for about 8 to 10 reps. If your lower back was rounding in that deep squat test, this is where you want to spend more time. We can make this exercise harder by just moving closer to the wall. Exercise 2 is focused on ankle dorsiflexion. So if your heels were lifting in the deep squat test, this is going to help you to actively drive your knees over your toes. For this, you want to sit on a bench with your legs supported and a weight placed over your toes. You might want to use a towel for comfort. From here, you're going to pull your toes up as high as you can. You want to pause for 2 seconds and then lower slowly. We want to repeat for quite a high rep range, like 12 to 15 reps. Now, if your heels came up in the test, this is definitely your priority. This is what's going to give you the ankle control to actually stay grounded in a squat. It's one thing to be able to physically push your knees over your toes, but it's another thing to be able to do that actively, and the muscles through the front of the lower limb are responsible for creating that active ankle dorsiflexion. Okay, exercise 3 is about integration. This is the beast to squat movement. You're going to start in a beast position where you've got your hands and feet on the ground with the knees hovering just off the floor, keeping the core tight. From here, you're going to slowly rock your hips back towards your heels, entering a deep squat, pausing at the bottom for about 3 seconds before you actively pull yourself forward again into that beast position. We can repeat this for about 6 to 8 controlled reps. This ties everything together. It teaches your body how to control the squat as a full movement, not just an isolated piece. Now here's where most people mess up. They rush this movement, they bounce through the reps, lose tension, and turn it into a bit of a chaotic movement. Don't do that. Stay controlled. That core tension that you have in your active beast, try and pull that into your deep squat. So to recap, you're doing all 3 exercises, but if your ankles were the issue, spend more time on the tib raises with the weight. If your hips were the issue, spend more time on the hip compression exercise, and always end with the beast rocks, because they tie everything together. Okay, here's your challenge. For the next 2 weeks, spend at least 5 minutes a day working through these. If you stay consistent with this, I promise you your squat will start to feel completely different. More open, more stable, and more natural. And if you want more progressions like this, stuff that actually works, instead of just stretching and hoping for the best, hit subscribe. Guys, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much.